Yo, what's going on? This is Chance, and you've reached the Duval Dogs podcast. If you've reached this channel, that means you're a diehard Jaguars fan. We are going to talk about the Super Bowl offseason that the Jacksonville Jaguars are about to have this year. Yes, you heard it. This year. We're going to talk about free agency signings. We're going to talk about a few players we're going to let walk and a few people we're going to bring in as far as the draft goes. It's going to help contribute, rotate in and out. It's going to be a fun time. All right. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about the people we're going to let walk. All right. It's going to be a little controversial. Cannot please everybody, but I'll have explanation for every move I make, and promise you it'll make the most sense. Okay. So first and foremost, we're going to let walk the heart of Duval, Andrew Winger. Um, he's a little long in the tooth, a little older safety, less athleticism than we'd like. A great fit in the locker room, a great fit on the field. But I feel as if we're going to make a Super Bowl run, that we can upgrade. We need to upgrade the things that need to be upgraded, that can be upgraded. And at this point, we have a solid safety group, but it can always be better and can get younger and cheaper. If we sign Andrew Winger, he will be on the books. Not for much, but he'll be on the books. That's money we can allocate somewhere else. Okay, he's a great box player. He can play special teams, and he does a little something in the free safety realm as well. Not so much this year, but we've seen it before. He's good for a pick or two, and it looks amazing. But we need more consistency when it comes to that. And he deserves a chance to start somewhere else. All right, so where else we're going to let walk is Devin Lloyd. Yes, Devin Lloyd. It was a tough one for me. My mindset was, do not let your best players, not even your best players, but the best players in the league, walk away from your team. But then I thought, Anton Harrison next year, Brenton Strange, Parker Washington. These are players in key positions that we need to re-sign next year. And they're at right tackle, they're at receiver, and they're at tight end. Three premium positions. I can't explain to you, I can't explain to Shad Khan how I chose an off-ball linebacker with one great year and a few injuries here and there, signing him compared to a right tackle, protecting Trevor Lawrence, a receiver, making sure Trevor Lawrence has an amazing year. And of course, the the cog in the whole thing, Brenton Strange. We didn't have an offense without Brenton Strange. Never mind BTJ. We didn't have an offensive line. I mean, a offense without Brenton Strange. So we can't sit here and say, let's sign Devin Lloyd because he had 5 interceptions and he played the run well. I would love this. I would love to have him another year. I wish he did this last year, but that's not the case. We have to make some tough decisions, and this is one of the tough decisions we have to make. This will not stop our ball production. We will still get takeaways, and I'll explain that in our next moves as well. The next, um, the next person we're going to let walk is Monteric Brown, and I'm passionate about this one. I'm genuinely passionate about this one because I played corner, I played safety, and I I've been around high end athletes all my life. I did strength and conditioning for Florida A&M University and Florida State University. I coached high school ball, defensive backs. I've I've been around players. I've been around people who know the game, and Monteric Brown is a dog, 110% dog. The thing is, I feel as if he lacks athleticism. He has a great work ethic, from what I hear. He has a great IQ. He has great instincts. The athleticism, the athleticism he lacks worries me. And if we're going to pay a CB2, we have to make sure he's a CB2. And I feel as if Monteric is more good enough than good, if that makes sense. No disrespect to the man. I know he's a good player. I know he's a good teammate. But let me make a list for you. Let me read off a list for you, and let's see how comfortable you feel with Monteric Brown guarding these players. Okay? These are wide receiver twos. We have Tank Dell, Alec Pierce, Jordan Addison, Devontae Smith, Devontae Adams. We have T. Higgins. We have Chris Godwin, Cooper Kupp, Jameson Williams, George Pickens, Jalen Waddle. We have to come to the understanding that we can't operate off of emotion. We love Monteric Brown, but what can he do for us on the high end? How high is his ceiling? His floor is high. His floor, I think he's at his ceiling. I think this year he proved that he's a really, really solid corner. And I think we have a corner we have 3 corners on the team right now that's better than him. That's just the truth of the matter, and we'll have that conversation for sure. The first person we're going to re-sign is Travis Etienne. It was a toss-up between Travis Etienne and Devin Lloyd. I just chose continuity when it came to the offense. I chose double-digit scores. 14, was it 14 or 13? 13 total touchdowns. 11th in rushing yards. 13th in the league in forced missed tackles. And we can get him for a 3-year deal, 2-year out. That gives Bashal Tootin to have Bashal Tootin too. We have Bashal Tootin in the back. We have LaQuint Allen, and that gives Bashal Tootin some time to really become the pro that we know he can be. He can be the bell cow. I know he can. It'll just be less stress on him for the first couple of years of his career to have a running back like Travis Etienne holding it down for him. They can go 50-50. Of course, it won't be as perfect as 50-50, but you get what I'm saying. It'll be a great 1-2 tandem, kind of like not to the caliber, but Fred Taylor and Maurice Jones-Drew, just that 1-2 punch. Why not have a 1-2? Why not have a 1-2 punch? Why not choose to have a really good offensive room instead of having one good running back or 2 good running backs? Have a good, really good offensive running back room. That's my choice. So we signed him to a 3-year deal, 2-year out. So it's not a super large commitment. We can give him some money up front. It won't hit the cap too hard. All right, we're going to re-sign Dennis Gardeck. I cut him at first, but I'd rather keep him on a 1-year deal, and we'll draft his replacement. He's good rotational guy, good pass rusher, very, very useful, Swiss Army knife. High floor guy. He's pretty much at his ceiling, but his ceiling is a really good rotational guy, a glue guy, as they say in the league. All right, so who we're going to sign in free agency? So one big thing that I had a problem with this year was I love Devon Hamilton, and my biggest thing was What if, God forbid, Devon Hamilton stubs a toenail and he's out for 4 weeks? What will we do? And yes, Matt Dickerson played well. He was a defensive end body type, playing a lot of nose tackle, and he's sub 300 pounds. He did a good job, but that's not good enough in my book. That's not Super Bowl depth in my eyes. So I chose to go get Roy Lopez from the Detroit Lions. He is 28 years old. He's a rotational run stopper. He's 6'2", 318. Run stopper, high motor, good locker room guy. He's one of those good guys, you know, mental wise, locker room wise. He's just one of those guys that you want to be around. Really humble. What do they call him? A lunch pail type of guy. Somebody you can, get in the trenches with, and no pun intended, and get dirty. So, God forbid, Devon Hamilton needs a breather, or he gets an injury. Roy Lopez will come in seamlessly and hold it down for a few games, and we won't skip a beat. Now, we don't have a lot of money. We're going to clear some cap space. I'm not a big cap money guy. We're saving this 0.2 million, 3.6 million. We're saving this, we're saving that. So I'm doing these deals based off of the amount of money I know we don't have, if that makes sense. So I know we're not going to be big spenders, but we are going to be bold. And what we need the most is we need interior pressure consistently, and it needs to come in rotation. So we're going to be bold here, and we're going to sign Christian Wilkins. Yes, we're gonna pull a Trent Baalke and sign the person nobody's really thinking about right now. Kind of like how we did with Calvin Ridley. Right? But Christian Wilkins, he's a proven 3 tech. He can do some things in the nose if you need him to. If I'm not mistaken, he's familiar with Campanelli, and he also played under Fangio, which Campanelli came from under in Miami. The last full year he had 9 sacks. The year before last, he had 9 sacks in Miami. That's the type of production we need. Honestly, I can get half of that from him. Another year like that from Eric Armstead. And plus, he's a great run defender. Now we're talking about Eric Armstead, who's good for 5 or 6 sacks in the interior. Christian Wilkins, who's good for 5 to 6 sacks minimum in the interior. Bare minimum, consistent pressure. It might not show up in sacks. It might not show up on the stat sheet, but this dude is going to push the pocket, and he's going to wreak havoc. He's a playmaker, and we need more playmakers in the interior, especially because Mason Smith is nowhere to be found. I hope and I pray that Mason Smith figures it out, gets mentored by Eric Armstead, gets mentored by Christian Wilkins, and he has a resurgence year. And the reason why I chose Christian Wilkins because of his incident in Las Vegas, where it was something with the locker room, and of course his something with his surgery, his injury, and being a coach, being in the locker rooms, I understand different avenues you can go to seek assistance when it comes to surgeries or injuries and things of that nature. And one person may have an opinion, and another person may have another opinion. And unfortunately, the football team is going to look out for the football team, not for your longevity. And so we don't want to hear that aspect of things. But if Christian Wilkins were to, and I don't know the current situation, but I can only imagine Christian Wilkins was looking out for his better his long-term health. Doesn't want to pop pills, doesn't want to take shots, doesn't want to mess up his kidney, his liver, all those things. And maybe he wanted to go a different route. Maybe he didn't want to get surgery just yet. Maybe he wanted to, heal it in a certain in another way. And it was just a disagreement there. Um, I understand that. I feel as if we have very down to earth coaches here in Jacksonville, Florida, and I feel as if we as good as our our coaches communicate, I think we would have handled that situation much better. We have a good strength and conditioning staff, the staff from the Bills a couple years ago. Yes, we dealt with a lot of injuries, but they got back on the field pretty soon, and when they got back on the field, they didn't come back off. Um, so I think they would have dealt with Christian Wilkins' situation much differently. And as far as the locker room situation, I don't know. They kept that under wraps. They said something about a kiss or something weird that happened. And if anybody has checked his mic'd ups and his personality in general, he's a goofball, and some people just don't play like that. And I feel as if anything's going to happen this year, it's not going to happen with him as far as anything in the locker room. Once you go through that situation, 10 times out of 10, you're not going to do it again. So that's kind of nipped in the bud right now. So the injury has been taken care of, if I'm not mistaken. I think he got surgery back in December or sometime last year. He however he took care of it, so we can get him on the cheap just based off his injury history and his situation in the locker room. Um, yeah, like I said, he has connections with Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence in Clemson. He has a connection with Campanelli, Vic Fangio. I think he'll be a great fit, and we need a player like him. And I don't think we're going to run into a player of his caliber that we can get for this cheap. I believe he's at age 28. He's pretty young. For this price, we have to pull the trigger on this. Pair him up with Eric Armstead. Pair Roy Lopez up with Devon Hamilton, and be a better. We were number one this year, but our run defense can be even better now. It be even better. This will be the most veteran position group on our team. Probably not the most expensive, just due to the type of salaries defensive linemen get. But yeah, it'll be the most veteran. We have Roy Lopez, 28. Devon Hamilton, he's a 5, 6, 7 year guy. Eric Armstead, 9, 10 year guy. Christian Wilkins, he's 28, I believe. So these guys aren't super expensive, but we can move some money around and get these guys flowing to the ball, man. Oh man, I'm just thinking about this rotation, flowing to the ball. So we are going to talk about draft right now, and I made a note for you guys because I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from when I do this draft. My note to myself was, we have the ability to draft good young depth high in the draft because we don't need for anything, right? So if you look around our depth chart, we don't have a blatant hole anywhere. Our O line is fine. Quarterback, running back, receivers, tight end, corners, safeties, everything is fine. Everything is good. Not even fine. Everything is good. We're trying to go from good to great. It's easy. I wouldn't say it's easy. It's more challenging to go from good to great than it is to go bad to good. Okay, so now we're in the role in the mode where we're going from good to great, and this is how we're going to do it, right? So the first person we're going to draft in the second round, and I believe he'll slide a little bit, is Emmanuel Pregnon. He is a 6'5", 318-pound left guard. He is 24 years old, a little older rookie. more on the Joe Burrow side of things. But Jaguars love this mode of guards. They love the long guard, about low 300s, the three teens, 320s, a 6'4", 6'5", foot guard. They love those type of guards. Same size as Ezra Cleveland, same size as Patrick McCary. Of course, Walker Little played guard a little bit with us. He's the same size as him. He's not as versatile as those guys when it comes to playing center or left tackle or just tackle in general. But I feel as if this guy is a day one starter, and Ezra Cleveland's on his last year of his contract, and I just feel as if the worst come to worst, you have a second round pick, day one starter in a lot of people's eyes that just got beat out by a 6, 7 year veteran. And we know for a fact that O-line gets hurt the most. It'll probably happen where one of the guards get hurt, he goes in and he plays, and we're like, I'm not sure if they're going to get their starting gig back. I'm not sure if Ezra's going to get his starting gig back or Patrick McCary going to get their starting gig back. He's that type of player. He stonewalls bull rushes. The only way you're going to get past him is if you're a true speed, twitchy interior rusher. And there's not many of those in the league right now that can do it consistently. Now, of course, everybody gets beat every now and then, but the most reliable pass rush move most interior rushers have is the bull rush. They're big, strong dudes, and they want to rely on their superb power to get through. That's not going to work with Emmanuel. He's a great run blocker. He has a great anchor. He needs some help with his agility a little bit, but I'm big on draft the people who with innate strength, football IQ, size, all those things, and anything that can be coached out of him, let's do that. We could do that. If it can be coached out of him, if he can learn, I'm completely fine with that. So Emmanuel Pregnon is, hold on. Imagine next year, Ezra Cleveland, Hainsey, Patrick McCary, they're gone, right? Let's say they're gone. I'm not 100% sure about all of their contracts specifically, but you have Wyatt Milam, Jonah Monheim, Emmanuel Pregnon developing behind them, and we already seen Wyatt Milam a bit and Jonah Monheim a bit, and Emmanuel Pregnon is a second round prospect. Those guys were fifth, sixth round guys, and those guys were good. So we get a 6'5", 320-pound second round pick at left guard. Our interiors on all rookie deals, and we have two really good tackles, and Anton Harrison and Cole Van Lannon. That's what you call the O-line. That's what you call building. That's what you call building, because I don't want to say, you know what, I don't want to spend a second round pick on a star left guard because we already have a left guard. What? No, I don't care. If he sits a year, he sits a year. If he develops for a year, he develops for a year. But next year, he's going to play, and he's going to play well. And honestly, he could probably beat out Ezra Cleveland, maybe. I feel better about him beating out Patrick McCary or McCary. Sorry, but yeah, it's a great situation regardless of what's going on. That's how we need to build. We have the opportunity to build. We're not in a rush to find a superstar here, superstar there. We have our line. everybody's coming back from last year, and our line last year was pretty good. We can only go up. Why not do that early in the draft? We have the opportunity to. Our third round pick is Malik Muhammad out of Texas. The cornerback, 6 feet, 188 pounds. This is our Monteric Brown replacement here. So Monteric Brown was our fourth corner, and Travis Hunter got hurt, and so he came in, became our second outside corner, and did a pretty good job. But Malik Muhammad reminds me a lot of Travis Hunter in ways. He doesn't pick the ball off a lot, but he gets to the ball, breaks it up. He's very twitchy, a 4.4 guy. I believe Travis Hunter probably would be a 4.4 if he ran the 40-yard dash as well. He can play off man. He's very twitchy, very instinctful, football IQ out the wazoo. He is a great route recognition. That's what I love about him, especially zone corners. Route recognition is everything. Understanding what the OC is trying to do to you. Because yes, if you can lock down a receiver, that's cool and dandy, but you're not just playing the receiver, you're playing the OC. What does the OC like to do? And one thing I didn't like about Monteric Brown is if he came to press up on any of those receivers I listed earlier, the OC, the quarterback, the receiver is going to say, where's the safety? If the safety is not over him, we're going to say, I know he's not going to press me. I know he's not playing man. He has to bail. He has to bail because I know they don't trust him guarding me as in Alec Pierce, me as in Tank Dell, me as in Devontae Adams, one-on-one with no safety. OCs know that. Receivers know that. Quarterbacks know that. But if you put Jarron Jones out there, if you put Travis Hunter out there, if you put Jordan Lewis out there and press, they don't know if you're going to play man, press man, zone. You don't know if you're going to bail. They don't know because they know that these guys lined up across from me can play everything. And they trust them in every situation. And I can't say Anthony Campanelli trusts Monteric Brown in that way, but I feel like he'll trust Malik Muhammad, Jarron Jones, Travis Hunter, Jordan Lewis. I love Jordan Lewis, but he's not a man-to-man corner, but he's a savvy veteran, one of the top 5 nickel in the league in my eyes. So we can work with that. So this guy, versatile outside zone corner. He can play safety, he can play nickel, he can play boundary corner. This versatility will allow us to do whatever we want to do now. We can do whatever we want to do now. You want Travis Hunter to shadow chase? You want Jarron to shadow T. Higgins? You want Malik to shadow whoever the slot is, Jordan to shadow whoever the slot is? We can do that. We can interchange. Everybody can play inside, outside, no problem. Whatever scheme, they can play it. They can play it. And that's the thing. I don't want to be predictable. I want to line up and have the best matchups possible. I feel as if Jarron Jones can be an all-pro type of corner. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more, but I feel as if he can be an all-pro type of corner. He just doesn't have enough reps. He makes plays every time he's on the field. Let's be real. He makes plays every time he's on the field, and it's not just luck, not sheer luck. He's jumping routes. He is running the route for the person. He's getting his head around. Whether he's at nickel, whether he's outside, he's doing what he has to do every down. And yes, he gets beat a couple times, but that's because he likes to sit on routes. And that's another thing, like Malik Muhammad, Travis Hunter, these guys like to sit on routes. And because they have the athleticism to sit on a route because, You're rarely going to beat me deep because of my athleticism, and I'm sitting on this route because I know what you're doing, and I know what you're trying to do, and I'm gonna shut down everything short. I'm gonna shut down the drag. I'm gonna shut down the deep over. I'm gonna shut down all of these things. You ain't got no. If you see me sitting, you better run a fade because everything else is going to get shut down. That's what these DBs can do. So I'm drafting Malik Muhammad because Jordan Lewis gets injured. He's known for a little bit of injury here and there, and he was out for a little while last year. And of course, he's getting a little older, so he won't be here for the next. This might be his last year. So I can imagine Travis Hunter, Malik Muhammad, and Jarian Jones shutting down, being the best secondary in the league. And we haven't even talked about the safety position yet. The best DBs in the league, the best group in the league, man. These guys will take the ball away like it's nothing. These boys will take the ball away. It'll get wicked out there. I'm telling you. So we re-signed Dennis Gardeck, but I did tell you guys that we're going to draft his replacement, and Anthony Campanelli loves guys in this mode, the Foyer mode, the shorter linebacker, the big safety-looking linebackers. They have two linebackers in Quay Walker and another guy in Green Bay, the same size, about 6 foot, 6'2", 225, 230 pounds. And Dennis Gardeck is the same size. He's about 6 foot, 230. So this guy, Harold Perkins, he's a work in progress, but he is a firecracker. And this guy is no joke, man. He gets to the quarterback, off ball line, weak outside linebacker, off ball, of course. 17 sacks in his college career. 17 sacks. And he missed a year. He got 17 sacks in 3 years. He missed a year with his ACL. Off-ball linebacker, 17 sacks. You want pressure on the quarterback? There you go, right? He runs a 4.45 type of guy. He's super fast, Telvin Smith-esque. Of course, I mentioned his edge rush experience. He needs to be coached up, like I told you. Things that can be coached out of guys, I'm okay with. So getting off blocks, they're gonna emphasize that every day in practice. He needs a little help getting off blocks just due to his size. He needs more technique when it comes to that, and tackling. It needs better technique when it comes to that. I feel as if it's a little more of a length and speed thing. He's getting to the ball. Maybe not breaking down as good as he needs to be, and not being able to wrap up, just due to his size. But I feel as if with the right coaching, let Tim Lakubu get a hold of him, because we have one hell of a linebacker coach. We got one hell of a linebacker coach, and I just truly believe that he can get everything out of this guy. So we got a ball hawking linebacker who's going to come off the edge and get to the quarterback. We already talked about the defensive line we just had. Now you just entered in a linebacker with 17 career sacks, pure speed, pure agility, pure effort, high motor guy. This guy loves ball, and he whatever you need him to do, he's going to do it. This year he'll be competing with Dennis Gardeck. He's a 31-year-old linebacker who knows the system already, so he might get beat out by Dennis Gardeck, but he'll be playing rotational snaps, and he'll also be on special teams. So I'm all about development. Let's do it the right way. We draft this guy in what round? We draft this guy in the 3rd round, a backup 3rd rounder. Come in next year and be the complete starter, and and ready to go. Knows the scheme, knows exactly what he's doing, has playing experience, coming off the edge. It can really it we can really look like the Broncos. We can really look like the Seahawks. We could really look like 2017 out here. Um, we have the pieces, and we're getting younger pieces that can start day one, and we have the luxury to get them to develop. They might start. They might not start day one, but they might start week 8, week 6. Injuries happen. You put Harold Perkins on the field after in week 8. This dude's gonna run around and with his like chicken with his head cut off and just get to it. I truly believe this dude is a spark plug, man. Next to Foyer, next to Ventrell Miller. Come on. The reason I didn't speak on it, but the reason I'm letting Devin Lloyd walk is, of course, he's expensive, but Ventrell Miller, man, you cannot say every time Ventrell Miller is on the football field, this dude isn't just in the pile, causing the pile, punching the ball out. This dude takes advantage of every rep he has. Every rep. You see 51 every time. Every time he's on the field. All he has to do is stay healthy. You will have Ventrell Miller, Foyer Lucan, and Harold Perkins along with Dennis Gardeck next year. You kidding me? That's athletic. All of them fly to the ball. All of them can blitz. All of them can get to the ball. As far as when it comes in the air, boy, I'm getting excited just talking about this defense, man. This is the defensive year for us. Our offense is pretty solid. This is the defensive year. The defense got to catch up a little bit. So we have a little bit of a developmental player. 4th rounder, DeMonte Capehart. I believe he went to Clemson. I didn't put his school, but I believe he went to Clemson. He's a 3-tech. He's a huge dude, 6'5", 315. He's a pure bull rush type of dude. He'll get some flack because he's not a pure pass rusher, this, that, and the third, but you're not going to run the ball on him. You're not going to run the ball on him. He will stand up every offensive lineman, every center, every guard you got on your roster. He's standing them up. He has an anchor. You have to double team him, and he will kill the double team with brute strength. With brute strength, this dude will not be moved. So now we're talking about DeMonte Capehart from Clemson, 6'5", 315, elite bull rush. He doesn't have a lot of sack production, but one thing about bull rushing is, if you want this dude to stunt, if you teach this guy a few moves or two and allow him to develop those moves, this dude can be a headache all day, every day. Eric Armstead, Christian Wilkins, Travon Walker, teaching this guy moves in the 3-tech position, and then you have Roy Lopez and Devon Hamilton teaching this guy about the run game in the league. As a fourth rounder, you talking about depth. You talking about elite depth. Excuse me. Oh, I love the vintage. You see that, man? Holographic vintage Jaguars cup. Got it thrifted in Las Vegas. I am elite. This is thrifted. I am elite as well. Nah, but man, like, just thinking about what could be in this situation is ridiculous, bro. Think about that D line, man. Let me. After I'm done, I'm gonna go over the D line. So I didn't do 6th and 7th round. I did 5th round. I did my another 5th rounder, and the reason I did that is because some of these guys will be picked in the 4th round or 3rd round or whatever, and we may need to move up a little bit. We may need to move back a little bit. So I purposely didn't use any other draft picks, like later draft picks, because we might be using those to trade around, move up and down a little bit to get these players. So I don't know the intricacies to where this guy will definitely fall. No one does, but I have an idea of where he may fall. Emmanuel Pregnon, he's a iffy. Some people are talking about first round. A lot of people are talking about he has a first round talent, but he's older, so he may fall mid second to late second, just based off of if he has a bad draft or combine or whatever the bad interviews, whatever the case may be. So we have an opportunity with this guy, a really good opportunity with this guy at 56, and we could probably get up there in the 40s to get him as well. So just for perspective, but the last person I chose in the 5th round was Malachi Lawrence. He's an edge player, pure pass rusher. This guy is 6'4", 250 pounds. And when I heard the scout say he has natural bend, that's what I look for in edge players. If you're looking for an edge player, make sure the scouts say he has natural bend, because those are the guys that get past the quarterback. I mean, get past the tackles in this league. Think of Von Miller. Think of the Bosa brothers. Think of Khalil Mack is like more power, but yeah, natural bend. Those are the guys that have natural bend. And so when I saw this guy in the 5th round, a 5th round prospect that has natural bend at 6'4", 250 pounds, I was wondering why he wasn't the 5th round, and it's because his run defense isn't the best. But when you have Travon Walker, you have Josh Hines Allen, Danny Strigal, and BJ Green, it's like, okay, BJ Green is that change up, and we also now have a change up in Malachi Lawrence. If you want to stop the run, as far as backups go put Danny Strigal out there, call it a day. But on 3rd downs, you want to have a wave of guys who can truly get to the ball. And this is one of those guys. This guy has elite speed, elite high motor. This guy's pressure rate in college, 22.7. This guy gets to the quarterback. You talk about Josh Hines Allen getting pressure. This guy almost has 25% pressure rate. Think about it. Think about getting pressured a quarter of the time you're on the field. A quarter of the time. Out of 100 snaps, you're getting 25 pressures. And they run the ball sometimes too. And they doing screens sometimes too. So out of all those snaps, you're getting pressure 22.7% of the time. That is insanity. Imagine a coach getting a hold of that and molding that, teaching him run techniques. He has the size. He's not like a Yannick Ngakoue where he doesn't have the size to be an elite run defender. This dude is 6'4", 250. This guy is good size. He's a little light, but about 10, 15 pounds lighter than Josh Hines Allen. That'll be my last draft pick, but man, so now look at, you know, look at our defensive line situation. It's relatively cheap. We have some higher end salary guys, but some money can be moved. It's a really good situation when it comes to just run stopping, a combination of run stopping and pass rush. You got guys who push the pocket in the middle. Christian Wilkins. You got Eric Armstead. Can you imagine Josh Hines Allen, Travon Walker, um, Christian Wilkins and Eric Armstead on 3rd and 8, and we send Harold Perkins off the edge. We send her they one of those guys in the middle stunt, and we send Harold Perkins off the edge running a 4.45 with 17 sacks in his 3 years of college experience. That's that's a situation I'd love to be in, man. Um, and the reason I love those off-ball linebackers also being able to rush the passer is because now we don't have to shuffle our depth chart around a little bit. They can be outside linebackers, off-ball linebackers, but they can also line up on the edge. We can have Harold Perkins and Dennis Gardeck on the edges with Josh Hines Allen and Travon Walker in the middle. You kidding me? Like, dude, we can do so much stuff, bro. Like, dude, we got two. That'll give us two starting caliber defensive lines. Think about it. Our defensive line last year: Josh Hines Allen, Travon Walker, Devon Hamilton, Eric Armstead. Now, with this draft and this free agency, now you will have B.J. Green, Danny Strigow on the edge. You'll have Roy Lopez and Christian Wilkins in the middle. That ain't crazy a starting line, but that you can do something with that defensive line, and for that to be your second wave of linemen, man, that's elite. And we talking about pennies on the dollar when it comes to compared to other teams what they're paying. And we're drafting guys too. So we got Malachi Lawrence, we got what's his name, Demonte Capehart. Those guys will be Demonte Capehart will be going at it with Mason Smith, Matt Dickerson, yeah, those two guys. So as far as roster spots go, it's gonna be a dogfight. It's gonna be a Duval dogfight at the back of the roster when it comes to those things. And Mason Smith better figure it out. Worst come to worst, Mason Smith figures it out. We keep Demonte Capehart on the at 3 tech, and we get rid of the 31-year-old Matt Dickerson. There's another guy back there too. I can't remember his name, but yeah. So I truly feel like that's a crazy defensive line, um, and the pass that pass rush will be so upgraded. Like it'll be night and day in my eyes, especially with the interior. It'll be night and day. Our run defense will got that much better with Roy Lopez and Christian Wilkins in the middle as well. Like those guys can really, really, really stop the run. They can't do anything else. They can really stop the run. Our 3 tech Demonte Capehart can really. You can plug him in the first day and tell him to stop the run. He's going to stop the run. He might not. He might be good for 2 or 3 sacks just off pure bull rush and surprising some guys. But if you want him to stop the run, he's going to stop the run. And my philosophy is get guys who can stop the run and have a higher ceiling with pass rush. Because if you can't stop the run, you can't pass rush at all. So there's no point of having good pass rushers who can't stop the run because you're never going to get a chance to because you can't stop the run. You get what I'm saying? You're never going to be in 3rd and 8. You're never going to be 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15 because you don't have any playmakers hitting the running back in the backfield. And now we have pass rushers who can get sacks on 2nd and 5 when they drop back. We don't have to wait to long a distance to hope for a sack. That's not what we're here for. We elite defenses get sacks on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, and if you want to play with it, 4th down. That's what we're here for. We're here to be elite. I'm not here to spare any feelings. I'm sorry, Monteric Brown. I'm sorry, not Dennis Gardeck, Andrew Wingard. I'm sorry, Greg Newsome. I didn't even mention him. I just feel as if we know he's going to get up out of here. unless he's okay being a depth player or competing for a starting role, which he might not get because I would want Jarian Jones on the field. He would be a really good backup, but I don't think he's in in the part of his career where he's going to submit to being a backup. I think he'll read the room, see Jarian Jones, see Malik Muhammad, see Travis Hunter, and be like, yeah, I don't fit here. So so matching that defensive line with with defensive backs that sit on the ball, sit on the route, and force you to show you the move is that's sack season, man. Because you're not gonna the lowest percentage ball is the deep ball. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to be running a out, a slant, a dig, or whatever the case may be. So the only deep routes you can really run is what post, fade, and the fly, and those are based off alignment. So if you on the short side of the field, I know you're not running the fade, especially if you line up on the outside. You know, I know you're not running a post, especially if we disguising as cover three. You're not running the post. You know, it's just things you could do to play with the OC. Um, so we didn't even mention the safety room, and I didn't mention the safety room because I believe in Eric Murray. I like Antonio Johnson, and I'm very curious about um, Caleb Ransaw. I love his versatility because he played corner in in college. I do want to give you guys a caveat. I wanted to get rid of Monteric Brown, but if he's willing to play a little bit of safety, I'd love him back. Um, Depth corner, third safety, used this year to learn while Eric Murray is still there. Eric Murray leaves. Now it's Monteric Brown, Antonio Johnson, and Caleb Ransaw in the safety position. Cause they use three safeties. I'd love Monteric Brown at as our third safety, potentially second safety. Um, he doesn't have the athleticism to run with the receiver one or twos, but when you put him on a tight end, he's not the smallest corner, but he's not the biggest. I feel as if he's physical enough to play that. He's instinctual enough to jump those routes on tight ends, on lesser athletic receivers like tight ends. Um, so if he's willing to do that, I would resign him, and that'll have our depth. Still, I would still draft Malik Muhammad. So our depth, Travis, it'll be Travis Hunter, Malik Muhammad, Jarian Jones, Jordan Lewis, and Monteric Brown as depth at corner, and him playing a lot of ball at safety this year, just using his instincts, just using his the range he does have, runs about a 4.5. I mean, I believe Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu ran 4.5. You don't have to be a super fast dude to be a really good safety in this league. You just have to have instinct because you can run a 4.2 in the wrong direction, but if you're running a 4.5 in a direction the quarterback doesn't even know that you know about, you're going to beat the ball there, and that's what we need. He knows the scheme. I would, I would, I would be, I would love for him to stay on the team as the third safety. That's something I would really enjoy watching. Him, Antonio Johnson, and the young bull, um, Caleb Ransaw, along with Eric Murray. And there's injuries there too. Eric Murray had a neck at 30 years old. That might flare up a shoulder, might flare back up again. Caleb Ransaw had a foot injury or something like that. It might flare up again. So you don't want to be down to Antonio Johnson and Rayon Lane. Not saying they're bad players, but where's your depth now? So I would. People might think I'm crazy, but Monteric Brown will be a dog at safety. He's a dog at corner. I think he'll be, in Madden terms, I feel as if he's a 75 overall at corner. I think he could be like a 82 at safety, if that makes sense. I think putting it in that type of those terms helps people kind of understand what I think about him. That's a solid player. That's a really good player. 82. So yeah, that's my Super Bowl off season. We keep the rushing title to ourselves. We'll continue to be the best rushing defense in the league. We will have more takeaways from our defensive backs now, just due to pure athleticism and instinct. Um, we'll we will we'll probably get 10. I believe we'll get 10 more sacks just based off of coverage sacks and our upgrades at pass rusher and just in general. Um, our offense will be going up on guys as far as score wise, so we'll have a lot of time to just pin our ears back and just get to the quarterback, sack him, knock the ball out, do all these things that we did in 2017. I don't want to live in the past, but 2017 was an insane year, and I feel as if this year with this offseason I just explained to you guys, I feel like we could be a better we will be a better team than the 2017 team for sure. I believe we probably were a better team in overall. Yeah, 100% better team overall than them last year. So we'll be head over heels better than them this upcoming year. So I appreciate you guys listening. This is the Duval Dogs podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends about this, man. I'm gonna keep making content. I'm gonna keep bringing this passion, keep bringing my ideas, making it make sense, and you guys can listen to some true analysis just on roster moves and things of that nature from somebody who genuinely watches every single game the Jaguars play, who knows everybody for the most part on the roster, 99% of the team. I know on the roster. I know what they do, what they don't do, where they come from, what their ceilings are in my eyes. Of course, I'm an opinion. It's my opinion, but my opinion comes from watching every single play. And I know as a fan, we don't get that luxury as a Jaguars fan. We get guys who are saying we need a safety in the first round, and we don't even have a first round pick, and we don't need safety that bad. So it's those types of things that made me want to create content. I'm just passionate about the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I would love for you guys to go on the journey with me. So let's do it. Welcome to the Duval Dogs podcast, and we are out.